What do you got tonight? This is Ethereum. We're looking to short it here shortly. No pun intended. We got 3 minutes and 53 seconds until this candle closes, so we are going to be looking to potentially short if we do get a nice candle closure with potentially a wick to the lower half. That would be nice, but we'll see how it closes. All right. So, looking for a short here on Ethereum. This is the daily chart. We're just looking for the price to push down towards its initial low, which is kind of down here. We'll see how the risk reward situation is. But we'll see how this candle turns out, because currently the market does look a little bit more bearish. Not tremendously, but looking at the 5-minute candle here, yeah, if it closes bearish, I might be looking to enter that pair. It's not even able to put. So we got an ascending triangle or ascending trend line. We have a long-term descending zone, long-term on the 5 minutes, so not extremely long-term. And you're seeing the price break, push to the downside. We're able to capture that. And then we're looking for the exact same situation. We got an anchor point here, first touch, second touch, and we see the price breaking our zone of confluence there. We see more sell pressure than buy pressure. Overall, it definitely seems like there is more of a bearish sentiment in the market, and we can see that market structures look pretty similar. Probably going to want our first take profit to be here, but we'll see how the risk reward situation is going to be. Looking at the different take profits we're able to find. So, oops for the TikTok there. Let's get take profit of 2, and then take profit of 3. And then take profit of 4. Might reduce my risk a little bit here. Got 10 seconds till this candle sees a closure. And going to borrow some shares now. Going to look to enter a little bit here. Okay, so got a nice potential got a nice entry here. So that's the first entry that we got. I got in at 22728. So right down there, 22728. And then we're going to set our stop loss just above that zone, not too high. where the previous level of resistance is new level, previous level of support, sorry, new level of resistance. So we're not going to set it tremendously high. I think around 1.5 is good, where we kind of had it right around there. I think that's going to be where I set the stop loss zone. So let's do that. So then we always like to give enough room for the spread. Just making sure I got the stop loss in, so that's good. Just making sure that was in place there. And I got my stop loss right there. Do you see BTC is taking a bit of a dive? We'll see how the next couple candles close here. Got a little bit of any good stocks to buy at the moment. We don't trade stocks, we trade in the cryptocurrency market. If you're interested in trading the cryptocurrency market, then definitely check us out. But we do not trade in the stock market. But we do have a Discord where people do trade in the stock market. So if you're interested in trading, investing, definitely an interesting place to check out. Absolutely free to join. Over 1,500 members altogether. All right, so we got first entry here on Ethereum. Looking for a strong push to the ups or to the downside, sorry. Hopefully we get that. That would be good. And that's basically all we are doing for now. Let's take a quick look at the comments on the YouTube or the TikTok. Don't really have any comments there, but yeah, got a good entry here. In my opinion, if we see a nice pullback and then validate it again, and then we see that double injection of sell pressure, then that would really confirm that for me, I want to be entering this pair. And then we got a rejection where there was quite a battle there, and then we ended up closing green, but that for me was the pullback. And then once we started to see that sell pressure come into the market, was enough to enter me into the trade. And then we got a stop loss just above that zone. BTC on the 15-minute chart just closed its 15-minute time frame candle, and then we opened a brand new 15-minute candle for BTC. And then also for the 5-minute chart, we just opened a new 5-minute candle. Let's see where this one goes. Yeah, current stock market definitely is not doing awesome. So I cannot give you any recommendations on that one, unfortunately. So I think I'm going to enter a little bit more here. It's looking pretty good. I know we're pushing down further. Not perfectly. It would be nice to get a little bit of a pullback with very limited amount of demand. We're getting a decent amount of sell pressure here, but we'll be patient. We already got an entry. I think at this point, it might make sense to move the stop loss to a little bit lower zone, so we're able to manage risk just a little bit more. We're looking for one strong push. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking to hold it forever. We're not looking for anything of that nature. We're looking for one strong push to the downside, and for us to be able to get our risk reward and then get out. So that is the goal for this trade, and that's what we're going to be looking for. So we got an entry here, and we'll see how the next few hours go. Final take profit, of around, well, this is definitely off 230. Is that my, yep, so that is my take profit. So my take profits are a little bit off. So got 2. Yep. And then 3. There. Yeah, they were very off. All right, and then didn't get that perfectly on there. And the last one's going to be 4. So, like so. So we got our 2 levels of take profit we're going to be looking to get. Hopefully in the 3 to 4 range of risk rewards. Hopefully. And if we get a pullback, we'll be looking to enter. But at this point in time, happy with the entry there. So we'll see what it brings. We'll see what BTC does as well. Getting a little bit of a pullback here, so I might be looking to enter a little bit more on my position here. Just ensuring that risk parameters are set. Seeing how this candle closes. Seeing how the other candles close. Also, if you got any questions, if you are tuned into TikTok, just drop them in the comments and we'll be able to answer those questions for you there. Definitely seeing some rejection in the market where there's buy pressure coming in. Let's see how it does. Okay, I'm gonna sell more here. Okay. Definitely a bit of a rejection there, but that's okay. We'll see where it goes to. We'll see if it's able to bounce at our nice level of resistance. So we just got this candle to close. We'll see if the price pushes lower or if we see the buyers start entering the market here. So that was a good pullback. We'll see what the next candle here does on the 5-minute. Seeing if it's going to validate this zone as a nice new level of resistance. Got the first injection of sell pressure, and then that was more than the previous pushes to the upside, showing strength from the sellers. Good to see. And then now, once we experience our second wave of injection of sell pressure, then we are now going to look to enter again in the markets. Also, I'm just going to incorporate this trend line as well. Oops. Like so. So we might consolidate there for a little bit, and I want to make sure that I have that zone identified. So we're just in consolidation right now, seeing that second injection of sell pressure coming into the market. We already saw the first one, which was right here. This was our first injection of sell pressure, and then now we're seeing our second one right now. And then zooming out to the larger time frames, we see that we are holding a level of support, but we see the lower highs come in. On the 5-minute chart, we did draw a trend line like so. So, you know, on the larger time frames, we could draw that in. And then what we're looking for is a potential drop to these lows right here, and then we could see a low even drop come in to the lowest point of the candle closures there. So initially we're looking for maybe, like we can see right here, maybe 2.75 to 4%-ish, like we can see here, 4%-ish, and then we could get deep into the 5%. So that would be ideal. That would be a really good risk reward. But as of right now, we're just sitting tight with a small entry right now, looking to enter more once we get a validation that there are more sellers in the market present wanting to short this baby down. So hopefully we will see them, and then we'll be able to get another nice trade here for the night and then end the day off strong. So that is the plan. We managed our risk, we set our stop loss, we know exactly where we are looking. All right, so we are slowly climbing up here. We got a minute and 40 seconds until this candle closes. What I'm going to do is just get some water. There is the candles right there. Take a peek. We got our entry, we got our stop loss up there, and then we got a couple of our take profits that we're looking to aim to hit. So let's see. I'm going to get some water. I will be back, and then I'll discuss how the trade has been going so far and where we could potentially see it and all that stuff. So I'm just going to quickly check this one chart here because I do see something somewhat interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely happy I'm in a short right now. I'm very alright with that. BTC looks like it is more bearish. Hence me saying I'm alright with being in a short right now. It just broke a minor level of support and is pushing down. So good for that. And I'm going to get some water and I will be back. Okay. Back at it here. Are we waiting to buy? No, I'm waiting to... I actually already shorted here. So I already shorted entering right here. And I'm looking to enter to short some more. I have a stop loss at this red zone right here. This is showing me where I'm going to get out of the market if the price does start to go up. This is going to take me out right here. And I have different take profits here. This first green zone right here is indicating the first potential level to take profit with a risk reward of 2 to 1, and then I got 3 to 1 risk reward, and then I got 4 to 1 risk reward. And that's what these green rays are showing me, is the different risk rewards that the price is hitting, so I can gauge where I'm taking my profit. Ideally, we're looking for 2.5 to 3.5 or 3 to 4, somewhere around there. Obviously, the higher the better. We're aiming for a 3 or higher, ideally, but we'll see how the market moves from this point onwards. If we get a decent amount of sell pressure coming in, that's great. We're not seeing a whole lot right now. We're just seeing a bit of a consolidation at this point. If we start to see a pretty significant dump, then we'll definitely be adding more into our trade. But at this point in time, we're just seeing a little bit of a consolidation where the buyers are trying to push the price up. The sellers are hesitating to move the price down, just in a consolidation, which isn't a bad thing. But if we do see the sellers come back strong, we'll definitely look to be entering more. But at this point in time, we just got a consolidation, so we're not going to be wanting to be putting a tremendous amount on this trade just yet. So we'll see how the next couple candles here go. Got another 5 minute to close. Didn't really close below the previous low there, so I'm not really too eager to jump right in to add more, really. Could just be holding consolidation more. Don't see a tremendous amount of sell volume coming in, so also that's not something that piqued my interest too much. But that is okay. Also got another 15-minute candle come in here with these alts. Looking also at XRP and Chainlink. They are also making lower lows and lower highs. And it's definitely looking a little bit more bearish here. If we start to push down, I might start to enter a little bit more in my position. We will see. We didn't really close beyond that low, but if we start closing beyond that low and start really pressing that down, then obviously it makes sense. So might start entering a little bit more of my position here. Okay, so I entered a little bit more when it pulled back to just around there. Second entry was 22695. So let's just see when my second entry was 22695. So that's where my second entry was. So I'm just going to do a little bit of math here. This is Ethereum. Okay. Okay. Just entering all my stuff here that I need. Because I have a Excel tracking sheet. That was a very long pause. I have an Excel tracking sheet that allows me to see my weighted averages, which is very, very useful when you are scaling in, when you have multiple positions with different amounts that you are entering in. Oh, oops. I gotta go here. All right, so we see a bit of a move to the downside here. We are going to then reduce our risk a little bit more to around 1.18. And let's okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So we added more to our Ethereum short here because we got 2 injections of sell pressure, and we do see decreasing sell pressure coming into, or decreasing buy pressure coming into the market, and overall we see more sell pressure pushing to the downside compared to the buy pressure pushing to the upside. Don't really see a no demand candle, but the overall market structure is on the technical side very bearish. We see the market structure make a lower low. We've held for a lower high twice. We also have a descending trend line that we could hold potentially, and we also have a horizontal level of a support, which is now going to be a new level of resistance. We can see very well respected. So we got a lot of confluence here for the sell side. And also we broke this ascending zone, like we can see here. 1, 2, and then 3 touches. And then we do have a 4th here, making it a valid area that we can depend on. So then we got our first entry, and then we added in once we were able to get that second injection of sell pressure. So got an entry right now, got a stop loss at this zone right here. If it goes and hits it, then it goes and hits it. Not the end of the world. We're managing our losses, and that is the name of the game. So we'll see how the market reacts here. We already got stop losses in place. Making sure got the exact amount I need to purchase back here. Okay, so I set a stop loss. Same at that zone. I just made sure that it was the right amount. We'll see how it goes. We're still in that consolidation. Still seeing that buy pressure coming into the market. So we don't want to push that stop loss too low. It's at 230 right now. A little bit higher than the level of support that we currently have within the market, which is going to be right here. Previous level of resistance, we see previous level of resistance, or sorry, support. Previous level of support right here. Support, and then previous level of resistance, as we can see. So pretty well respected level on the chart, and it looks like we are getting some sell pressure now with the wick. We'll see where it actually closes. We got about a minute and 20 seconds on this 5-minute candle, and then we got around 6 minutes still on the 15, and then on the hour got still 20 minutes, so a decent amount of time. So we will see where the price goes. Definitely got a lot of sell pressure recently, and we have been making higher lows on the 15-minute chart for BTC, showing that there is bullish pressure. And we're not looking for something crazy. We're looking for a small push to the downside. Might be a little quicker on this one, but because we have been making higher lows for that fact. Like if we connect right here, we do have that zone that we are holding right now. So hence the hesitation. That makes sense. But I think if we are able to break below the current zone we're at, we'll definitely be able to hit the risk reward of 2 to 1. I think for sure that's a pretty dependable area that we'll be able to hit. Might want to take some profit off there, seeing how the price reacts to the zone. And then if it blows right past it, obviously we'll hold on a little longer. But if it holds around that area on the 5-minute closures, then we know that it's a zone that we have to understand has validity within the price action that we're trading and with the trade that we're trading. So the 5-minute just closed red, which is good for our trade. Quite a bit of transactions taking place, more than the previous candle. We got a long, not like massive long, but like definitely more of a bearish candle there, where we see a wick protruding above the body of the candle with a very, very small body. And then we see the candle go all the way up and then push right back down from the sellers. And then we see a decent amount of sell pressure coming in, more than the buyers, at least within kind of the consolidation. We got a pretty good rejection with that candle, with the wick coming to the downside. But overall, the market structure is making lower highs and lower lows. It makes sense. Testing a new low, there's going to be buy pressure right there. But when it finally tests that zone and it feels comfortable, hopefully we're going to get into that next markdown phase, where that was the distribution phase. We see that there's more sellers than buyers kind of within that market there when we are kind of moving towards the downside. And that was a little bit of a markup within accumulation phase here. We did, I believe, enter right here, and we got stopped out there and then moved towards the upside. I don't exactly know where it was. Maybe it was higher up here. Oh, it was back here. Yeah, it was a completely different spot. But regardless, with the recent price action, we are hopefully going to make a move to the downside. So let's see how that plays out. Got a decent amount of position in here. If we start dumping, we might be able to add more if we are able to reduce that risk. Definitely, we have found a significant level of resistance at this zone here. So, what we could do, because we've rejected 1, 2, and 3 times, we got 3 rejections at this zone, indicating that there's sell pressure within the area. We see the first injection right here, the second injection right here, where you got a doji, and then you see a wave of sellers coming in. And then the third wave is this big wick right here, where you see buyers enter the market and the sellers push it right back down. So I'm going to call this zone a pretty valid area. So I'm going to push our stop loss up a little bit lower, reducing risk to now 1%. Initially, it was 1.4, so slowly reducing that risk once we know that there's a valid level of resistance that the price is currently holding. So I might just go a little bit higher. So we're looking for that one strong push to the downside. We're not looking for the price to hold and we're waiting for days and days. We're looking for the one strong burst of volume, that one shift in trend, and hopefully we get it. Still got a minute and 50 seconds on this candle, so I'm going to move my stop loss just a little bit more to the downside here. All right. No questions. Thank you very much for the follow. XRP to the moon. I'm actually currently shorting it as we speak, so that's unfortunate in that regard. But I'm looking for a short burst of a move to the downside. That's all. Okay. So, like we said, trying to reduce that risk, trying to get it a little bit lower once we have validation that there's sellers in the market. Now, it's not awesome that we got this candle to close bullish, green, with some decent buy volume. Definitely not awesome, but we'll see where it goes. You know, we still have resistance there. We found resistance there in the past. And we still want to give that price room to breathe. But we don't want it to a point where we are cutting it too close here. So let's see if the sellers start to step up to the plate here. So XRP is pulling back. Chainlink's not really pulling back, just seeing lower highs and lower lows. Heiken Ashi candles, 15-minute chart on BTC. You see that they're still closing red. They are slowing down. We are seeing a level of a support hold, but we are still seeing the candles close red, indicating that the momentum is still going towards the downside on the short term. And then also on the hour, we can see that the Heiken Ashi are red as well, indicating that the momentum is to the downside. Also see that there is more sell pressure than buy pressure within BTC, so we are in a potential volume distribution phase, which is a little bit more bearish. So that is why we're looking to have this quick short here, and we'll see how it goes. We reduced our risk from 1.5, I believe it was 1.5, 1.4 to now just 1%. So we reduced it quite significantly. It was before above this recent high. But now we are slowly reducing our risk, trying to get that price to push down and make a strong impulse push to our risk reward of maybe 2, 3, and then ideally we want to get into 3 or 4, but we'll see where the price goes. Obviously we want to wait, and especially for short-term time frames, Really be patient and look at the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and look at the different alts within the market to see what they're doing as well, to see if they're still dumping or if a lot of them are holding. Could give you a little bit more of a verification to see if you should be taking profits or if you shouldn't. So, been doing pretty well for taking profits so far, where we've been, hitting the risk rewards that we're looking for, and then we get out of the market, and then it reverses or it consolidates or it does something. So pretty happy with the level. Even if it goes down further, at the end of the day, we're taking profit at a risk reward of above 2.5 or 3. You got to be happy because that's a solid risk reward that you're taking home. As long as the position sizing and everything else is correct, it's a great overall trade. So in the 3-minute chart, looking at another monitor, we see that there's definitely more sell pressure in the market on the 3-minute, but on the 5-minute, there's definitely more buy pressure. Just goes to show the different charts on the 5-minute. On some of the other alts, we see that there is a little bit more buy pressure than sell pressure, but we will see how it goes. Already got the stop loss there. Zooming out a little further, I just want to ensure that, I guess you could say I'm happy with this setup. There's a high, lower high, looking for a lower low, somewhere around there. Yeah, I'm pretty damn happy with it in my opinion. In terms of the structure of it, for the people that are on YouTube, I think obviously this is more catered toward them because, you won't exactly be able to see. On TikTok, you got an anchor point right here. You got our first zone where the price respected the area, where you got a reaction. You got our second reaction right here, giving it a potentially dependable zone. We see there's strong levels, and we're making a lower high. So we're still holding the lower high, lower low structure. And we see the price then make a descending trend line where we respect multiple times. And then also that's in confluence with our horizontal zone, which is initially holding as a resistance, turning support multiple times, which is now going to be a new level of resistance. So we got a level of confluence there on the larger time frame. Well, not really larger time frame, but still on the 5-minute. Just looking back, we can see that the market structure looks like we are forming a high because we have been making higher lows and higher highs like this. We've seen that the price has been making a bullish move towards the upside, but now we see that we are in a bearish move, making lower highs and lower lows. So in that, with that said, we see that this is a high, this is a low, this is a lower high. We're potentially going to see a lower low, continuing the trend to the downside. And that's what we're anticipating here. We got an entry at this point right here, and we're looking for the price to make a lower low, hitting the 3 or 4 risk reward take profit levels that we are aiming at. So that is the overall structure that we're looking for on Ethereum. If we get it, that's fantastic. If we don't, we will take the loss, have a good night's sleep, and then wake up with good, well-rested mind, so you are able to get up fresh and able to trade the charts again. So that's the market structure that I'm able to see. So you see a move up, you see a corrective move, right? Because we're in a major downtrend. Looking at the larger time frames, right? BTC is in a downtrend. We can all agree on that. So we're making a move to the downside. We're making lower highs, lower lows, stronger, stronger, stronger. And then we got this consolidation. The market needs to take a breath, right? There was climactic volume where there was a significant more amount of volume than really any other time frame. And then you get a consolidation phase where you're seeing higher highs and higher lows. You're not seeing a tremendous amount of buy volume coming into the market compared to what you saw on the bullish moves towards the upside, really. And you're seeing ascending trend lines break. We capitalized on one today, and then we're hopefully going to capitalize on one right now. If the price is able to hold below the support, and then talking about a little bit more of the more recent market structure on the 5-minute, why are we looking to enter? We see the first anchor point right here. We see the second touch point right here. We see the third touch point, and then we see one support level hold, making it a valid level because we have 4 zones that the price held on this ascending trend line. And then when the price broke, we got our first injection of sell pressure right there. We got our second wave of injection of sell pressure right there. And then we got a wick where you saw a body of a candle like this, very, very small, and you got a wick to the upside and you got a small wick to the downside, showing that there is sell pressure to the downside. So that's where we started to enter more of our position, and then we averaged kind of right there. We have our stop loss. We initially had it above the high when we first entered our feeler position, but now we slowly moved it down just right here, a little bit higher than the support and resistance we can see within the price action. So hopefully it sticks within the consolidation like so, and then we get a break to the downside. So that is the idea with this trade, and we'll see how it turns out. Got a stop loss there, so we don't need to really worry about risk management. Just going to be seeing if the price is able to get some sell pressure coming into the market. One thing that is nice to see within this consolidation is, let's just zoom right in here. So one thing that's really nice to see within this consolidation is if this current candle, I don't know if it is, if it closes red or bearish, then we can say this candle right here is a no demand candle. Sorry, no supply. Yeah. Sorry, no demand. My bad. There's a level of demand. So basically what it's telling you is there's bulls trying to push the price up, and the sellers, the buyers are just not there. We can see there's a very lack amount of buyers entering the market. And this shows that the level of interest in the buyers is now almost nothing. Very, very little amount of buying going on. Near zone where they should be trying to battle it out, trying to push for higher highs. So potential bearish opportunity there. We'll see how it does. How long are we waiting for this? How long are we waiting on this one for? I have no idea how long it'll wait. It could hold the consolidation for a little longer. It could drop instantly the moment I finish the sentence. I have no idea. All I know is I'm getting out here if the price goes to a certain level, and I know where I'm hopefully going to be getting out. I know exactly how much I'm losing. I'm going to manage my risk very, very well, very, very systematically, and I'm going to be just waiting for one strong bearish move to the downside. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm patiently anticipating, is a bearish move to the downside. So if we get that, that's great. I'll be making money. If we don't, I will be hitting my stop loss, and I'll probably not move it too much lower at this point because, yes, we do have a nice level of resistance there, but I don't really want to be moving it too close just yet. You know, once we get the price to kind of come down a little bit lower here, then I'll move that stop loss a little bit lower, so we're decreasing our risk more. But at this point in time, I'm not really going to be moving my stop loss. Already moved it from 1.4% to now 1%, so reduced some level of risk, but I would like to get it to closer to break even when the price does start to initiate that lower low formation. So we will see how it goes. Like always, gotta be very patient. Do not need to really have any emotion in it. You have a system, you have a plan, you abide by it, you stick to the rules, and You learn to completely trust in whatever you're doing. You have a system, and you almost become robotic in a sense. So I'm gonna get some food. I will be back, and we'll see where the price is in a few minutes. Love you. Okay. We see that we are dumping a little bit. What's the ticker of this stock cryptocurrency? It is called Ethereum paired with US tethers. So it's ETH USDT. And it's on the Binance exchange. So we'll see if get a solid win here. I think this is almost a point where we are going to move our stop loss a little bit lower Also, I'm eating some ice cream, hence the noise. So, we'll be doing pretty good if we get some 3 or 4 risk rewards here. Let's see what this couple moves bring us here. Thank you. No problem. Also, just make sure it's on the Binance exchange. We're getting a lot of sell volume, a lot of transactions in this 5-minute candle here. Still have minute and 15 seconds until it closes. But the sentiment, market trend, price action, VSA, all pointing to the downside. So we'll continue holding on because it's looking pretty good right now. Also, I have Ben & Jerry's, and this is fucking delicious. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is now move this to a lower position. Let's just see where it was before. I'm going to lower it to maybe right around there. Alright. Damn. Good to see that. Let's just set our stop here. Actually, what I'm going to do is move the stop a little bit lower. Okay. Got all the stop losses done. Got my stop loss right there. So reduce risk from initially it was 1.4. Currently now it's sitting at 0.7. And we'll see how the market reacts here. Just made a lower low, held on the 5-minute. So that's good to see. But like always, we will want to wait until we move that stop loss right to break even. So also, I'm profiting with you. Oh, great. Hopefully I'm not the sole reason you entered. But definitely market's looking more geared towards the sell side. Definitely more accepting of short side trades for sure. So we'll see what the next couple hours brings here for us. A lot of transaction volume here on the down move. Which means we could get some consolidation here before the next move down. Sorry, I'm eating ice cream while I'm talking here. A little bit of some what's it? Like taste pleasure, I don't know what you call it, but ice cream's fucking good. Alright, well I think that's a good view of the markets here right now. Maybe. Let me know if there's a better view. But overall, we're seeing quite a bit of red. What we got here for the setup, I got the Heiken Ashi on the top here. For the charts, this guy right here. That's the Heiken Ashi. And then we got 3 charts on the bottom. They are going to be the 5-minute charts for XRP, Chainlink, and Ethereum. And then on the big monitor here, We got the long-term time frame. So this is Ethereum on the 1 hour and 4 hour, kind of looking at the macro view, as well as we do our analysis. This is the main monitor. We do all our macro analysis. So we're talking about weekly, daily, 4 hour time frame analysis. We have Link, XRP, BNB, Dash, TRX, Litecoin, Ethereum, Matic, and then we got a few other ones that we're just randomly talking about. We see Tesla's dropping, and then obviously this SPY has taken a massive, massive nosedive. And then we'll talk a little bit about that now. While the trade is just continuing here, we see a lot of transaction volume when the price is hitting a certain zone here. Not exactly what we're wanting to look for, but regardless, we're going to hold. We're going to stay patient. Just talking about this zone right here. This is what I mean. Decent amount of buy volume coming back, but we're going to stay very patient and let it do its thing here. So this is the battle station where we're looking for basically all the different opportunities. SPX. I thought it could have closed maybe at the zone of confluence. If it breaks this zone of support right here, look how much sell pressure is coming into the market. So much sell pressure. From the high down 12%. That's a lot. Oh, God. There was buy pressure there where you saw a wick, a bullish wick right there to the downside, and then buyers picked it up. But then looks like that 4 hour candle closed very, very, very bearish. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Shit, this ice cream is so fucking good. So, we will see. 4 hour BTC. Zooming back a little bit, 4 hour BTC, and then we got the Heiken Ashi 4 hour and the daily. I got the Gemini 1 day, lots of sell pressure, decent amount of buy pressure, but you know, like what we always say, we're not looking for. Sorry, get some water here. We're not looking for massive swing trades. We're just looking for one solid pushes. And I'm very alright with shorting with the momentum behind us here. So we'll see how the markets are going to do in the next couple hours. Sticking to Ethereum. This is currently what we are in right now. This guy right here. So we see we are making lower highs. We still are potentially making higher lows, but we have broken our ascending trend line and are starting to break a potential low, which is this guy right here. If we do break this low, I think we have a pretty high chance of getting some pretty solid take profits. But our aim is to potentially take some profits at the zone because we are using the 5 minute. And then if we do get in this consolidation zone around this area, we can then look to re-enter for a potential another 3-4%. But it all depends on how the break is. Sometimes the market just absolutely drops like a brick. Like if you throw it out the window, that's how fast it drops. And in those certain circumstances, you're going to have to be patient and wait and get a much higher reward than you're anticipating, because the market is allowing you to have that opportunity. But yeah, it's one thing to understand price action, and you got to understand how to analyze the order book as well as the time in sales. If a lot of people are hitting either the ask or bid, that's going to matter quite a bit. So, not a whole lot has changed here. Just seeing the price consolidate where it has. We did see the 5 minute candle close. So I will show you in one moment. All right, and then getting some more water here. So we got the next 5-minute candle to close. Not awesome to see because we're not really seeing the price go down in value, obviously. We're looking to short, but the momentum is still to the downside. We're not seeing the consolidation too much. And I'm still overall happy with this trade. I think at this point, it almost makes sense to move the stop loss a little bit lower. Not too much though, but we're slowly, incrementally moving it lower and lower. I was thinking a little bit above these wicks here. It's currently at 0.67. It would maybe come down to 0.5, so we're reducing 0.01, which would kind of be the spread of the trade. Which isn't that much, but if you continuously stress on yourself that risk management is significant and should be focused on as a trader, you will see the reduction in the total amount of risk that you are taking. Now, yes, you do want to give the price room to breathe because the price could pull back. You don't want to get wicked out, but at the end of the day, as a trader, you are a risk manager. You can't just be randomly entering and exiting trades. You need to have a plan. You need to have a system. You need to have a way of being able to manage risk long term and manage drawdowns. And yeah, definitely something that takes time to learn. So we'll see where the markets go. Next candle seeing a little bit more sell pressure. Definitely not looking to take any profits here just yet. Way too early. Way too early. We're looking for the price to come significantly below where it currently is. Around 3.5 to maybe 4.5% away would be where we're looking to potentially take profit. For then of a total profit of maybe like 5% would be a good opportunity for us. So we'll see where it goes. Got the next candle to close with the bears, but there's not a lot of sell pressure coming in, so it'd be a little bit of a no supply. But like we said before, we did get a no demand right here, where there's a lack of demand pushing the price up. There's just no buyers trying to get it up above a resistance, so then that can indicate a level of supply coming in, and that is what we saw. We did actually see it push to the downside soon after. Are you, I'm profiting with you, crypto friend. Oh, right. That is good to hear. So hopefully get the price to go down here. Also looking at TRX, but not super seriously. XRP also, and Link as well. Link's actually a really good opportunity for a potential short here, but I got in on Ethereum, happy with that entry. And just getting a quick in and out, wanting to get a quick nice little profit here. So we see that definitely some hesitation here on the Heikin-Ashi candles on the 15-minute chart. We are seeing the bears start to weaken on the 15-minute chart. We'll see how it closes, but we don't want to do anything just yet. I don't think we need to move the stop loss lower. Went from 1.4 to now 0.7. So basically reduce it by half. So that's something of a positive note. We're just going to see if we're able to get the sellers to push the price down. Oh, it's not even showing. There we go. Sorry, everyone on TikTok. So the price... trying to get the price to push down below here. So we'll see if it's able to. And some indications now showing that we could have a potential move back to the upside, because Heikin-Ashi on the 15-minute for BTC definitely showing that we could be closing green, a little bit moving to the upside. But like always, we want to stick with our bias until proven wrong. I might move my stop loss a little bit lower, but at the end of the day, we made and are holding a lower low, and this could just be a lower high, testing the previous level of support as a new level of resistance. So we don't want to jump to any conclusions. We want to ensure that we are giving the price enough room to breathe and still having confidence while being able to manage risk. Because at the end of the day, we know we're going to get taken out right here. We already have a preset stop loss. So we know exactly what our exit is, how much we're losing, all that stuff. Very important. So just making sure the spread is good. Definitely getting a push up here. Seeing that buy volume come into the market. We'll see if it is just a pullback, retesting the previous support like we can see here. There's been a level of support we can see hold, and then we'll just see if this is going to be a retest of this previous support or if it's potentially going to form a new high. If it's going to potentially form a new high, I don't want any part of it. I'm just going to get out. It's going to take me out right here. But if it's able to hold this level of support as a new level of resistance, then I'm definitely going to be interested and will be looking to still hold this this particular pair. So we'll see where it goes. I reduced my risk to a comfortable level. I do still want to give the price room to breathe, but at the end of the day, I gotta trust in the analysis, and there's always going to be levels of uncertainty when you're trading, and you got to completely accept that, knowing that you could be losing money when you're entering the market, because obviously you have the possibility to make money as well. So you got to accept that, and that just takes time. That takes practice in the markets, trading with real money, getting into many different situations, and basically losing some money, understanding that is not a fun feeling, and then slowly building the disciplines in order to A, trust in yourself more, and B, create a systematic way that allows you to break down what you're doing wrong and have less of a wishy-washy way of trading, which is a good way of doing it. So if anyone is within our TikTok, we see that we got 6 people there on the TikTok, and we currently only have 1 person on our YouTube. If you've got a question, drop it within the comments, and we'll be sure to answer any questions that you may have. So trade's still going. See what I mean? Like, we could have, if we just moved the stop loss right to break even, would have got wicked out right there. We did not get wicked out. Our stop loss is well above where the price is. If the price does move above the zone, we will take a loss. We'll incur a loss instead of, breaking even. But you gotta believe in the analysis. And at this point, I think I'm wrong. But even if the price comes around here, if there's a little bit of wicks protruding above the zone, I still think I could be right, and there's a high probability of the price continuing to go to the downside. But if you form a higher high, then my certainty is reduced dramatically, and then I don't want anything to do with the market at this very moment. Going to go to bed tomorrow, take that small loss, and come back strong tomorrow and start attacking the markets and see what kind of opportunities we're able to get. So we'll see what the market brings here. Got 8 minutes on the 15-minute chart. It still is holding red, but we're getting a pullback kind of throughout the whole market here from a lot of the alts that we're getting. We're at 7 people online now, which isn't bad. I think the highest we've ever gotten was 34, I think, was the most amount of people online at a single point, which was pretty sweet. A lot of discussion going on at that point in time, which I try to pick a little bit more random in terms of the times I do it. Like, it's not like I'm setting a time at 7:30 a.m. West Coast time or Pacific time, PST, and saying that is the time I do it every single day. I do it in the sometimes early in the day, sometimes a little bit in the early afternoon, and then obviously I'll do it in the nighttime as well, like we're hosting right now. It's like 10:30 and kind of allows people from all over the world to come in and experience a TikTok live or a Performante live if it's YouTube, whatever the case may be. So then they can ask questions with anything regarding our education services, our trading methods, and anything really in between that need to have some answers. So it's kind of why we do it. Hopefully it allows people to do what they need to do for the reason that we're hoping for. So market is still in consolidation. We are in a profit a little bit, but we're not really looking to take any money off the table just yet. We want to see the next leg down. We want to see the strong push to the downside. We're not getting that right now, but we do see a reduction in buy volume. We can see that right here. The initial buy volume, very, very strong. And then the second buy volume, we did initially push to the upside, but we're seeing a decrease. And then now with less than a minute left, we're seeing, again, less buy volume coming into the market, not being able to break above the previous level of support, which is now going to be a new level of resistance. So we had 2 attempts now on the 5-minute chart to break above this zone. We're not seeing it, so could be potential time for the sellers to potentially start entering the market here. So we will see how it goes. Other markets are also seeing a potential move to the downside. So the market in general definitely is in not a bad place to short, in my opinion. But like always, we're going to set a stop loss. We're going to do it properly. Always want to be systematic with our trading. So we got the next candle to open right here. Let's see how it does. Initial reaction kind of around the different altcoin market. We see a little bit more bullish sentiment within the first couple of seconds here. Same as Ethereum, we're seeing that bullish sentiment come in as well. But tempted 2 times. For 10 minutes, we've been trying to push above this zone. It's just a matter of if we're able to do it or not. That is the question. If we're able to do it, then we might be a little bit in trouble. But at this point in time, it's just a matter of do we want to move our stop loss to a little bit closer to the entry point. Got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left until this 15-minute candle closes on the BTC charts here for the Heikin Ashi. Looks like it could be closing red, but like always, we want to wait until it closes before we really make any calls here. So overall, seeing a little bit more buy volume in the markets here. Got 3.5 minutes until this candle closes. All right. Don't really see any questions, so I'm just going to leave and come right back. But if you got any questions, if you just tuned in, drop a comment. If you're in either YouTube or TikTok, we're doing the live for both channels, both social media channels. So if you got a question, please drop it down in the comments, and we'll be sure to answer them for you. All right, let's see what happened here. Don't see real, not really any questions here on the TikTok or on the live. So we'll just continue viewing the markets here. Got the 5 minute to close. Next 5 minute candle coming into the market. Also, we just got the 15 minute candle to close on the Heikin Ashi on the 15 minute for BTC, and it closed red, meaning that, in my opinion, the momentum is still to the downside. Definitely holding a support there, so don't want to see that turn green ideally, but overall we're just going to hold and wait. The name of the game is patience, and right now it's definitely not at a place where I feel comfortable taking any profit off the table, but I do see and really like the fact that we're testing and holding previous levels of support as new levels of resistance. So I think at this point, if this candle closes bearish, like where it is right now, if it closes bearish, then I will move my stop loss closer to the entry point, then again reducing my risk even more. So that's the plan. We'll see if it closes bearish. If it does, going to push that stop loss lower, reducing my risk, and that is the overall trade plan that we have right now. Just looking at different markets here, different charts, same asset, same market. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Got 3 minutes before this candle closes, but it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with where it currently is right now for potential stop loss move. If it does hold, like we said, we want it to hold, giving us a level of confirmation from the sellers that it's going to not only push the price there, but is able to hold it for that whole 5 minutes. That is definitely something very important that we wanted to see before we move stop loss, at least. And once it's able to hold, then we can verify, yes, there is now going to be potentially more sellers jumping into the market, or at least there's going to be sellers at this range that we know entered here. So then they're hopefully going to be attacking the price again, or there's going to be a next wave of sellers for a potential double top if we do get the price to come back down up to this level. So we'll see what the market does. Got 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left until this candle closes, so we'll see how it's going to close. If you got any questions, definitely drop them in the comments section below. Just taking, think of it as baseball. You're taking base hits. You're not looking for the massive home run. You're looking for the consistent base hits. The 2 to 3, maybe even 4, dabbling in the 3 risk rewards consistently is a really good situation to find yourself in. So mindset plays a big role. I've definitely realized that the hard way through time and just through experience trading in the market and being in drawdowns and difficult situations and all this. Definitely learn to understand and appreciate the positivity that it will have of having a sound psychological state when you are trading. Like not being frustrated or angry or revenge trading or being in an upset state when trading, basically, and is never really a good idea. So very important. And also like wanting it too much, like being, you know, like getting sleep deprivation because you're trying to look at the charts so much and backtest, and like giving too much of your energy towards it, I feel like is also a negative thing, because you get burnt out, and obviously that is good for no one. So yeah, you got to find that right balance here. Got 26 seconds on this candle here, so I'm going to set up the stop loss just so it's a little bit lower at this low right here. So it's going to be at 0.46 now. So it was at 1.4, now it's 0.46. Reducing it little by little. Hopefully we're going to see that drop off here. Ideally, that would be a really good situation for us to find ourselves in. Do 4.8. So that's how we reduce our stop loss little by little. All right, so we now only have 0.5% of risk. We started with 1.4. We're looking for that really strong push of the lower low. So this is a low right here, this strong push to the downside. We're looking for a potential lower low to come in, maybe around the 3.5, 3 risk reward, maybe even 4 risk reward, hitting that zone of sensitivity around the 214 range. At a minimum, we'd like to be taking profit at the 220, 221 range at the minimum, because that would be a risk reward of 2 to 1. And then ideally we get that drop to come in kind of somewhere in between this area here. So we'll see how the price reacts to these zones. We don't want to, in my opinion, swing trading is a little bit more reliable with this stuff. That's why I have different strategies for swing trading and day trading. Day trading, I'm just looking for risk reward, get in and out. I just want my risk reward, and not going to fuss about it. But swing trading is a little bit more systematic. You have zones that are a little bit more dependable in my view, in my opinion. But we'll see how this market goes here, because overall looking like we are getting a little bit of a pullback. Just ensuring that we do give that price room. Thinking I might move it up a little bit more, but we'll see how it reacts. I don't want to push it up too much. We are seeing more buy volume than sell volume, definitely, recently. Look at how much more buy volume we're seeing than sell volume. So, me being the person wanting to limit risk significantly, not too much to a point where it's constricting, but I'm going to leave it where it is. Because if we're going to test around this area, we do have a couple opportunities for longs, with Ethereum actually being one of them potentially. So that could be a potential, but we'll see if it's able to break down. Because right now we're just slowly consolidating here. And I do not really want to... I don't want to be. I'm not willing to take a higher high. I want to be ensuring that I'm sticking below the current low, and that's why I have the stop loss where it is. If it goes above the current high, I'm gonna get out with the stop loss. Bye bye. I'm gonna get out of the market. Go to bed. It's 0.5%. Is at 1.4, so it's a pretty good reduction. And then if it goes down, if it stays, I'm just going to stay up until the price continues to fall, and then look for take profits. So obviously, I don't have anything to wake up to other than the markets in the morning. And if this is able to provide me with a pretty good opportunity, then who doesn't like that? Definitely getting hesitation though from the BTC 15-minute chart on the Heikin Ashi. We're not able to get that push down. We'll see if it's able to hold. And if it is, don't know if I want to put my stop loss to break even, but I think we're going to keep it where it is. We've already reduced our risk to a point where I'm pretty well happy with it. From what we had before, the level of risk is reduced significantly by a third, which is quite a bit if you actually think about it. So we will see. Definitely seeing a decent amount of buy pressure here for that second candle. Not awesome to see for our trade so far, but what we're looking for is sell pressure around here. And if that breaks, if that fails, and the price breaks this zone, let's even put a level here just to show exactly what we're looking for. So that's what we're looking for the price to hold. If it breaks this zone, I'm getting out of here. I'm very, very alright with taking this small loss because the potential was there, potentially move to the downside, but we do see that there now is a significant amount of buy pressure, so the possibility of a move to the upside has now increased substantially. We want to reduce risk, but we also want to ensure that we are providing the best amount of space so the price action can still move, because we're not just using the volume to dictate our trading, we're still using the price action as our main source of information. Note main, it is like BTC, the king, we are going to be using price action as the way that we're going to be looking at our trades. And then the supply and demand, the VSA is supplement to the price action. So haven't made a market structure higher high. We could consolidate at this resistance here. We'll see where this candle closes at this point in time. It's still closing, looks like below the level of resistance, but we'll obviously have to see how this looks when it actually closes. Not seeing a lot of transaction volume, which is good to see, but like always, we got to be patient. We got to stick with our plan, and patience pays. You just got to not have a bias. Well, you got to have a bias to trade because you got to figure out which way you want to trade, but you got to stick with, I guess, a bias, but stick with the plan, and if anything is out of that plan, you get out. Like, the price is now moving against me right now. It was at a break-even point, but now the price is now moving against me, where we see more buyers entering the market. We still have 2 minutes left on this candle, so we can't really confirm anything until this 5-minute candle closes. But if it does close above the zone, that's a higher probability of the price potentially making a move to the upside. If we close just leaving a wick with the body candle closing at the zone of resistance, that is a huge signifying potential for a move to the downside, especially if we see a significant lack of demand coming in from the second bullish candle, because we saw the first one from the rejection here, the first candle we see here, we saw a lot of buy volume coming into the market, a lot. And then the second candle, if we see, and we only got a minute and 30 seconds left, if we see this candle kind of close underneath the resistance with a very limited amount of demand, this could be a no demand. There's not a significant reduction in the level of volume, but it's still a significant amount that shows us that there isn't a huge amount of demand there compared to the previous candle, as we can see. So hopefully this resistance is able to hold, and then we are able to see these sellers still continue to push the price down. So that's the plan. Little bit not worrying or anything, but little bit looks like a support zone here because of the strong buy volume. We'll see where it closes. This candle saw a lot of buy volume. Only got really one major rejection, and this is the potential rejection that we're seeing right here. But you know, we did what we can with our risk, and no trader will know exactly what they're doing in, well, no trader will know exactly what will occur in the markets 100%. And all you can do is manage your risk very well and enter in the highest probability situations. So that's exactly what we do. So 15 seconds left. Let's see if we get the sellers to get to see the sellers push the price back down. We actually do, which is pretty good. In the last like 10 seconds, we saw the. Did you see that last 10 seconds? The sellers pushed the price right back down. That was significant. Wow. Did you see that? Anyone? Just 5 people online. That was fucking. Man, I feel like I'm one of the few people in the world who get excited watching candlestick patterns form in front of them. Compared to like watching like entertainment like the Avengers, like this excites me more than watching Thor swing his fucking his hammer and fucking kill all the people on different planets. I don't know. It's everyone has their passion. What's up, Keith? How's it going? OE Shem. Colton, it's 3 a.m. and I'm watching you. That is fucking dedication, man. That is sweet. Wonder if you're trading or not, maybe. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to the YouTube Live. We got 3 people watching now on YouTube, and we got 5 people now online on TikTok. We got an entry pretty early here within that consolidation. What happened is we got our first injection of sell pressure here. We entered a little bit, and then once we got the sell pressure to come in right here, I believe, then we entered a significant amount in relation to the risk that we're wanting, right? In terms of the risk that we're initially setting before we even enter. We know exactly how much we're going to lose. We set stop losses. We're not setting like mental stop losses. We're setting hard stop losses. If the price goes to that level, I will get out of the position. No, like if I go to the washroom, I don't have to worry about it or anything. OE Shim asked, should one still enter? For a short, yeah, I still think that it's an opportunity for a short. What I'm looking at this moment is a current short where the market is right now. I have a stop loss set at around 228.42 right now. It was initially set at 230.95, and I reduced it from 1.4% to now 0.5%. So I reduced my risk by a third, and then I still think that it's a good opportunity, personally speaking. Just and then zooming out further on the time frames here, we can see. Hopefully, you're able to still see this. I'm just going to take this off and just talk about market structure here on getting a snip. So this is the main support zone that we're currently seeing. On the long-term time frame, we also see this as a main level of support. So this is kind of where we're going to be targeting, right? So right now, we saw a move to the downside. We all know that there's strength to the downside. BTC has been bleeding. Everything is kind of going to the downside, right? So right here, we see the move making lower lows and lower highs. And then we see a market correction, where we see the price start to make higher highs and higher lows. We see that right here, where you see a consolidation right here. You see an ascending triangle. You see a bullish move towards the upside, and then you see a formation of higher highs and higher lows. Also, exact same thing. You get a bullish move toward upside, testing previous levels of resistance. May not be perfect, but like somewhere around there. So now what you're seeing is the price. You can see it really clearly. Move to the downside, move to the upside, and now we're potentially creating our move to the downside. Why can we see that? Is because now the price is making a high right here, and then a lower high right here, and this is a low, and we're potentially going to make a lower low. Kind of like we saw here. We saw the price consolidate a little bit, and then it went down. we're seeing the price consolidate a little bit, and then hopefully we're going to go down to our next lower low. So that is the hope. Markets definitely seem a little bit more bullish at this point, actually, right now, but we will always wait until the candle closes and wait until we get a confirmation. So looking back at the charts here, so hopefully that answers your question on where we're exiting and all that stuff. We're exiting at the lows back here. So our risk reward initially was looking at a risk reward of maybe 3 or 4 to 1. And then right now we have reduced our risk by, I guess, 2/3. It was at 1.5 and then now it's at 0.5. So we reduced it 2/3, sorry. I think I said a third before, but I reduced it 2/3. So we'll see how the market reacts right now. Let's just zoom in and just keep an eye on what's happening right now. We went over exactly where we entered within the previous, I guess, time in the video. So we see the price still reject this zone. Really testing it, but we will see. So hopefully that answered your question, OE Shim. Got no more questions on the TikTok. We got 5 people on the TikTok, and we got 3 people still on the YouTube. If you got any more questions, definitely drop them in the comments, and then I'll be able to answer those comments for you, or those questions, I should say. Also, just on a note, I do provide, or the Performante team does provide every single trade that they do enter, as well as a full analysis within a video. Like we're hosting a live here, so we tell people like we're entering into a TikTok live. So then for any of our students, there might be students, or there are students within either 3 people within the YouTube or 5 people within the TikTok, but you know, you can follow trades 100%. You can watch a YouTube live and it's live trading. And you can like literally type in the same situation, entries and exits and all that stuff, and you know, you could have been making money the past handful of days here, because we've definitely been making money the past handful of days. So not a whole lot to do, but you know, definitely a good option there for you if you are looking to start some sort of entrepreneurial endeavor. Definitely worth potentially getting at least interested in my opinion. Discord question mark? Yeah, so we have a Discord. Discord link can be found within the TikTok page, I guess you can call it, the home page for Performante. So we discuss really everything. We discuss just general things, like we have announcements. We have podcasts. We host podcasts sometimes, so you can listen to podcasts, random entertainment, memes, stuff like that. We keep it, you know, somewhat professional. It's not like it's cringy or anything. And then you go up. You got stocks, commodities, Forex, and entrepreneurialism. So, you know, people talk about different stocks. We talked about Tesla on its roar up and on the way down. We talk about wins, losses, all that stuff. Commodities as well. We talk about similar type of structure. I follow the precious metals market, so I'll type kind of what I think in there. And then Forex, people do trade Forex, and they are... you can talk in here. You can ask questions. I used to trade in the Forex market. I don't anymore, but I did used to trade Forex, so... for any questions, you know, I'm happy to answer any of them. And then moving up, you got the cryptocurrency tab here. We have BTC charts, where we make a BTC update every single day, where we post a video, and then we basically go over what happened in the markets, and then we also post things in the alt markets as well, so the altcoins. But overall, I'm just getting a warning from TikTok saying there is copyright infringement, but I don't exactly know what I am showing in really anything. Yeah, that's odd. I'm gonna take that off, but I will have to explain that because that's very different. All right, so we'll see what the market does here because we're consolidating here. Either we're basically right in the consolidation zone. Dumb question, how much would I need to get something rolling? There are no dumb questions. So that's the definitely first one. Thank you very much for the question. No problem with answering it. He asked, how much would I need to get something rolling? So you assume, like, you mean how much would I need to actually get a level of income in trading that is significant? So, in my personal opinion, I think it's really a good idea to paper trade first, not trade any money, so you have a really good understanding of what's happening in the markets, how you are entering and exiting, what you're looking for your entries, because the first thing in trading is you have to understand the technicals. You have to understand what your support and resistance zones are, ascending and descending zones, zones of confluence, looking at volume, looking at VSA, looking at market structure, all this stuff. You don't need to risk any money to start to learn. You could, for people who are like underage and they're like, oh, I can't open an account. Well, like, you can just learn to paper trade, and by the time you're able to open an account, even if it's 2-3 years, you're going to have such an advantage because you already have that huge step in understanding the technicals down in like in your belt, in your toolbox. So now all you're kind of got to working on at that point is going to be managing your psychological self while you are sizing up, while you're increasing your position size, while you are risking more money per trade. Obviously, there is a learning curve with that, and that takes time to learn as well. So hopefully that answers your question. But to start off, it's a percentage game, right? So let's say you make 20% a month, just whatever amount of capital you feel is you have, multiply it by 0.2, and then that's how much you'll make in the month, and then think, like, would I be able to survive off that? So it's just a percentage off of whatever you make in a month. So don't look at it off of a trade-by-trade basis. That's a really bad situation. Look at it in a sample size. So this is a series of 20 to 25 trades. Maybe, like, for me, a sample size is a single month. So I trade on an average 25 to 35 trades. So for me, a sample size is 25 to 35 trades, basically. And that's how I analyze myself every month. And I'll take these trades, and then I will say, okay, how did I do? And that's why we have the Excel sheet. So, to give you a number, for example, if you traded, 10 grand, and you made, for example, 5%, that's not a significant a move, right? But that's $500 a month is not going to get you extremely far. But if you were trading, or if you just made a higher percentage, that's fine. But maybe if you're trading 20 grand, and then you made maybe 5%, obviously $1,000 will get you a lot further. And if you made 10% on 20 grand, obviously 2 grand is a sufficient amount in order to live in most places in the world. Vancouver is somewhat not that affordable, so yeah, it's expensive here. I just shorted Ethereum, man. Will be my first trade. OE Shim. Do you mean it will be your first trade in the cryptocurrency market, or it will be your first ever trade in any financial markets ever, or it will be your first short trade? So if you could get a little bit of explanation. I'm just curious. So we're getting a little bit of sell pressure coming into the market here. Not a lot, but Chainlink definitely seeing a little drop. Ethereum obviously seeing a little drop. XRP seeing a little drop. BTC still looking a little bit green. We'll see within that 1 minute we have. We have 1 minute until this 15-minute candle closes on the green. Or on the 15-minute on the Heiken Ashi, so hopefully it closes red. OE Shim says, first ever trade. Wow, I don't really know how to set up a stop loss. Lol, I did it on my phone. I'm just going to watch this and take profit manually. Yeah, that's an option as long as you are aware and you have your phone in front of you and you're active. You're good to go. Assumingly you are using Robinhood because it's easy to just short long using alts on Robinhood really, and also Robinhood doesn't allow stop losses, so also another potential reason. But yeah, sweet to see that you are starting to take some trades here. So we're going to take a quick piss here, but the price is coming down slowly, as we can see. And it's a pretty bearish candle here. And then we got some nice potential take profits. So I'm going to take a quick piss here. And we just got this candle to close. Still not able to crack to form a lower low. But we held this resistance twice. That's really good to see. We got two really strong bearish candles there. That for me is a really strong indication that there is sell pressure within the market. Not seeing a tremendous amount of sell volume, but we do see that the candles are indicating that there is sell pressure. This could just indicate that there's no real buyers when the price is coming back down there, but pretty happy with where the stop loss is at this very moment. What I might do is lower it a little bit more, because at this point, if it's going to dump, it's going to dump. If it's not, I don't want any part of it. Because we see a tightening, right? Because there's less and less and less and less volume coming in. We see less and less and less and less and less and less. So then it has to. There's going to be some surge, like we saw here. We saw a very small amount of volume, and then we saw the dump. We saw the huge surge, and that's kind of what we're seeing right here. We're seeing a reduction in volume. So let's just be patient here. Patience definitely important, but yeah, going to take a piss real quick. Hopefully it moves down. If it moves down, makes a lower low, then we're going to move that stop loss very, very close to that break even, so we basically have no risk on the table. And XM, I don't really know how to say that. XA Mukai, FPS, hello, Wave, hello to you as well. Welcome to another YouTube and I guess TikTok live here, and we're just trading live here to kind of illustrate how we make money in the markets. So I'm going to take a piss. I'll be right back. right. I am back. Don't think I got any new questions. It seems like nope. Got 8 people online though, and then 2 watching on YouTube. No questions on YouTube as well. So, yeah, we will see how the market does here. Ethereum definitely seems to be the most, that is a little bit most bearish out of all the alts that I'm kind of looking at right now. Down around 1.1% from our entry. So nothing crazy. Obviously, we're looking for more before we look to take profit. We're looking for a strong push here. Ideally, that would be good. To the downside, get us a lot closer to the current area of take profit that we're looking to hit. So we'll see how Ethereum does here in the next couple hours. Hopefully it gets it there before the next couple hours, but I'll just stay awake until the price hits our zone. So I don't really have obviously much to do in the morning other than trade in the markets. What coin is this? This is Ethereum trade with paired with US Tether. So the ticker symbol is ETHUSDT, and it's on the Binance exchange. So we got the 5-minute to close right here. So I got the next 5-minute to commence on the 5-minute chart here on Ethereum paired with US Tether. We still got 5 more minutes before the next 15-minute candle comes in on the Bitcoin Heikin Ashi chart on the 15-minute, which is showing a little bit more of a bearish indication. Right now, it could change, obviously. We still got 5 more minutes, or 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but at this point in time, it looks like it's a little bit more bearish. So yeah, this is what coin it is. Ethereum paired with US Tether. And we got a YouTube live as well. So we got a bunch of opportunities for people to ask questions about trading, all this stuff. So definitely take it away if you have any questions. Alrighty. Well, we are seeing that buy pressure get reduced, which is good. Still, 1% is not awesome. Definitely not awesome. With the risk reward, look at the risk reward. We gotta have that risk reward skewed in a way that makes sense, and we gotta have the patience to wait it out. So that's what we're gonna do, because more often than not, when we have conviction and confidence, we most likely are picking the right direction, especially when we are looking at multiple tools to make a single judgment or a single choice. So I'm gonna push our stop loss a little bit even lower here. It's not we're significantly in the profit, but you know, we're doing all right. So I'm gonna move it here. So now our risk is at 0.33. All right, cool. Slowly reducing my risk is the name of the game. And then just giving myself risk-free exposure, ideally in the perfect situation. At this point in time, we still are giving the price a little bit of room by giving the price the recent high to still go and retest. But if it goes above the recent high, then I will be cutting the trade off because we made a recent lower low. So structurally speaking, we're still in the lower high, lower low consolidation, lower high, lower low bearish trend. And we do see a decent amount of buy pressure coming into the market. But overall, we saw a lower low, and we're seeing that the sellers definitely still have control in the market. Saw a lot of bearish volume coming in this candle right here, which signifies that there definitely is bears in the market. Looking at the more of the momentum on the overall market, BTC 15-minute chart is going to close in 15 seconds, looking a lot, not tremendously more bearish, but definitely a little bit more bearish. So we will see how the next couple candles close. Got no questions on the TikTok. Oops. And got no questions on the YouTube. How long does a trade like this take? We have no idea. I can kind of give you some estimations, you know what I mean? But I can't give you a precise amount of candles that it will take in order for the price to hit this zone. But you know, the next hour, next 35 minutes, next hour and 20 minutes, something around there, potentially. And if not, it's probably going to hit our stop loss. You know, we could trend kind of lower, but what I'm looking for is a bit of a more of a stronger move to the downside. We see that on the 1 hour, we've closed well below our support here, so I'm definitely seeing that the price has a good chance to make it down here. That's what my hope is. And then BTC, zooming back, BTC has made lower high and is currently testing its previous low for a level of support on the 1 hour. So if we're able to hold it, then obviously we may have an issue shorting, but at this point in time, we're all right with the current situation we're in. Looking for that one burst push to the downside. So, you know, overall the market does look all right. Let's go right here, and let's get BTC and Ethereum shown right there. So we got all of our markets that we're looking for. Yes, average is fine, thanks. Was curious. Yes, so hopefully I gave you some level of knowledge, I guess, some time frame in which you have an understanding of what you should be potentially looking for on a 5-minute chart, just for looking for, not a quick scalp, because we're looking for, you know, potential of maybe 5%. So it's not a quick scalp because we were risking 1.4. That's a solid risk reward. That's a solid return on a single trade. So if you're looking at it in that regard, it's definitely not a quick scalp, but yes, it's definitely not a super long trade, but it can get challenging when you have things in your life that you are doing. If you're going to work and stuff and you're trying to trade on a small time frame and you're trying to enter trades manually, it can get very challenging. Can move this a little bit closer. There we go. So what we can see is we got this right here as the 5-minute chart on Ethereum. The bottom right is going to be the 1 hour chart of Ethereum, and then the top right is going to be BTC. O.E. Shim said, yeah, I'm at work listening in the background, listening to music in the background, or listening to this in the background, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Well, that's, I guess, using your time to the best of your abilities, getting paid while you are getting educated to some degree. So that is a good thing. BTC 1 hour on the Heikin Ashi is bearish as well. So overall momentum is bearish. So we're looking good in that aspect. Chainlink has held a support. We see Ethereum obviously looking like it's going to the downside. XRP also has been making moves to the downside. So it's looking pretty good overall. All right, I will be back to check the charts here very shortly, but I will leave this running. Have my stop loss just in case. We just got a 5-minute candle to close. We got a new 5-minute candle to come into the market. Still got 40 minutes on the 1 hour candle. Still got just under 10 minutes on the 15-minute candle. But we do see that the 5-minute candle just closed and we just got a new 5-minute candle. First sights of the 5-minute candle on some of the different alts that we're looking at. XRP is looking a little bit more bearish. Chainlink's looking a little bit more bearish. Ethereum is closing a little bit more green, but basically right even. And BTC is closing or opening bearish as well. So overall, the market trend is on our side. So we're going to continue to hold and just wait for the price to hopefully move to the downside. So I will be back very shortly. All right, back in with the trade here. Got a couple questions here. OE Shim said, how much profit do you pull out each take profit? So I'm not setting these. These are not hard take profits, meaning I'm not going to take them instantly when I get them. I'm going to see how the price reacts to the current levels, and they're just areas where I know this is going to be a level of a risk reward of 2 to 1. This is going to be a risk reward of 3 to 1. And this is going to be a risk reward of 4 to 1. So I understand that beforehand. I'm going to see how the price reacts. So I do have a level of support at this first gray zone. But I do think ultimately I'm looking for the price to hit the second gray zone of support. Breaking this zone, I might take 50% off here or 40. We'll see how the volume and the price and how the price moves to that zone, how the price reacts to that zone. But I think I will, if the price gets to a 2 to 1 risk reward, 2.5 risk reward, we'll see where it closes. But if the price kind of gets deeper into where we're looking to take profit, then we will want to be looking to take some profits here. So, we might be taking, for example, if you are trading $1,000, you might set your take profit if you're just placing market orders at $250 each, and then you'd sell it 4 times to get your position out. So then you'd be selling at 4 different positions. That's just a very simple way of being able to set different take profits and I guess manage them. But slowly going down. We're very patient. XRP is moving down. Chainlink is moving down. TRX is looking like it's moving down to a new low. So we got a really good entry here. So I might stay up a little bit and hold on to this because it is looking very, very phenomenal. Might get a couple of people to be lost going to bed, but hey, that's okay. Might actually make some coffee because this is we entered not a significant heavy amount per se, but we entered twice. We entered a feeler and then we got a pretty good position in there. And I think at this point, do we want, the question is, I'm asking myself is, do we want to lower the stop loss even more? And for me, that question is a yes. So I'm going to put that stop loss like so. So we're currently up 1.65, 1.6-ish%. And we move the stop loss just above break, above the break-even point. So we're losing a little bit of money if the price does suddenly shoot up and go above our zone. But I do want to ensure that we are limiting as much risk as possible so that we're lowering our stop loss yet again to a zone where it's almost at the break-even level. Maybe one more. Yeah, I like that zone right there. All right. So 227. Got the 5 minute to close. We got the next 5 minute coming in. We see a decent amount of sell pressure coming into the market. And let's see how it goes. We see a decent amount of volatility coming in. All right, so we're basically at a point where I'm just making sure everything's right. All right. So we want that risk reward, right? We're looking for at least minimum of a 2 risk reward. So we got a pretty solid push. We're now up around, 1.7, high of 1.9-ish. So pretty decent, but obviously we are looking for a higher reward. We initially risked 1.4, and we're now, what did we say? We're currently 1.7-ish. So now we're above a risk reward of 1-to-1, meaning I'm a noob to this crypto. Yep, this is cryptocurrencies. We are trading Ethereum paired with US Tether, which is a stable coin, which acts similar to the United States dollar in terms of the stability of the asset. Well, we're seeing the slow dump here, which is good. Reduced our risk to a point where it's almost at break even. Also really good. I think we will just break it. We will make it to a break even point at this point, because we see it's pushed down so significantly. Because that's the previous resistance. So I'm going to put it maybe right around here. Always want to be trying to reduce that risk. So basically that will cover my commissions and fees and whatnot. All right. So 226. Oh yeah, it's right here. Right, 22. Okay. Pretty happy with where that is. Good to go. So now we have not really profit guaranteed, but we have a break-even trade guaranteed. So now we have exposure to the downside with zero risk on the table. We're not risking anything now at this point, and we have exposure to a significant potential move if we do get the price to come all the way down to our current potential key level of support. Where do we enter? 22732, 227, around there. You know, if we do get to that support level, it is around 4%. Coming back here, looking around 4%. So a risk reward of 2.25, 2.5. Like we said, that would be a great area. Anything above 3 is just gravy. So that is where we are going to be looking for a potential level of take profit. We will be definitely taking some profit off, maybe 25% when we get below our risk reward of 2-to-1. We'll see how the market reacts. We'll see how the overall market is doing. But right now, we're just dumping down. We're falling lower and lower. Got the 5-minute to close here. Got a new 5-minute candle. Currently, it's a little hard to see here where we exactly entered. Somewhere around there. We're currently up around just under 2%, 1.9%. I would definitely like to see one last push here. BTC is holding our little level of support, it looks like. We'll see how it reacts. The alts are getting a level of a bounce here, where Chainlink's getting a decent amount of buy pressure. We see that. XRP not so much. BTC not so much. That was a bit of a no demand candle on the one on the Heiken Ashi. 1 hour definitely still is bearish, so definitely we got to keep our patience here, not get jumped into anything too quickly. We already have a risk-free trade. We have to understand that. What's the best way to get started, and what is the absolute lowest amount of money you can start with? So yeah, we answered this question before. I'll answer your second question first. What is the absolute lowest money you can start with? Our suggestion is starting with actually $0 and start actually trading without actually putting money in the markets. You can use TradingView, which is a free charting platform. It's free online. You can use it. It does have ads if you have a free version, obviously, that makes sense. But that's by far the best way to go. And then you understand the technicals, you understand charts, you understand how to draw trend lines, how to draw and identify key zones within a chart, all very important stuff. And then once you have that down pat, which would take you, it could take you months, right? Like, it just depends on how much work you're willing to put in, how much level of effort and time you're willing to dedicate to whatever you're trying to learn. And then you can start putting money in. You could put, $100 first, slowly trade that, risking maybe even $1, 1%, 2% of your account on a $100 account. And you don't have any pattern day trading rule. You don't have any regulations inhibiting you from trading particular times of the day, particular number of trades a month or week, or number of times a day, whatever the case may be. You can trade as many times as you want, and the commission is 0.075 per transaction, so it's very low compared to traditional stocks other than Robinhood, obviously, because Robinhood is absolutely free, but you obviously get a little bit ripped off with the spreads. So hopefully I was able to answer that question for you there. Got 8 people on the TikTok, got 2 people on the YouTube. Bit of a long series here, 2 hours and 30 minutes in, but we're seeing the price slowly move to the downside. We are not wanting to take profit yet because we don't have the risk reward we're looking for. We'll either take this one as a scratch, or we'll look for the risk reward that we're looking for in that minimum 2. We're looking for maybe 2.5, ideally 3 is the sweet spot. 3 or over, gravy, but 3 is the real sweet spot, what we're looking for. So we'll see how it goes. Got 20 more minutes for the 1 hour to close. See that it's holding a level of support there. Not want it to hold very long and kind of consolidate. That would not be a fun situation to be in, because I'm going to be up for a while then. But we will see. Could just be got 10 more seconds. So the buyers definitely look like they're able to hold it up there. But we'll see. Got 5, 4, 3. So it's definitely looking like it's holding with decent buy pressure coming in. So that's not phenomenal, but there is a previous level of support where the price was hesitating to go below this zone right here, where it's now testing as a new level of resistance. If it goes above it, we got another zone right here where the price could hit. So I am giving the price quite a bit of room to breathe because I am A, confident in setup, and B, knowing that I need to hit my risk rewards in order for my success as a trader to grow. Because risk rewards are very key in trading. Very important statistic to understand. All right, I'm just blowing through water here. So I really want to get into crypto, but I'm very new. Is there a site that teaches me how to read? Understand candles. Yes, so I think the best thing you can do is go to our Discord. You can find the link within our TikTok web page, or our page, I guess you could say. And it's a community of over 1,500 people, and we're dedicated to teaching and educating people how to navigate using charts, how to navigate different markets, financial markets. You can look at it in stocks, foreign exchange, commodities, crypto, using charts to understand price action and psychology of the masses has been going on for a while and is an interchangeable skill that can be adapted and applied to many asset classes. But if you're talking about real estate, obviously you can't really, well, unless you're like trading REITs, but then you'd be trading equities. Like if you were to actually purchase real estate, I guess theoretically there are charts for that, but you get what I mean in a sense of being able to have that ease of liquidity being right there. So I think I'm a little bit out of water. So yeah, definitely check out the Discord. Either ask me, my name is Keith, and I'll be in the Discord, or you can ask Nathan and we'll be able to help you out. We do provide one-on-one mentorship services, and it is a low cost of $30 a month. It is 50% off your first month right now, so then every month after that is $60 a month. But if you do get multiple months, you will get obviously a reduction in the price on a monthly basis. So yeah, and we do promotions quite often, so we'll do like Christmas, New Year's, even random ones, just to kind of provide a service as a little bit of a reduced cost to say thank you. And we also do a lot of giveaways. So when we actually hit the 50K on our TikTok, we will be giving away a lifetime membership to Performante Premium, absolutely free. So that is $60. $60 a month for a year for your entire life. And as our ecosystem grows, we will increase the price of the subscription service, not by a lot. We're going to still try to make it affordable, but if we're providing a tremendous amount of value, we already are. I'm not saying that we're not, but if we are providing more value than we are right now in the level of education, we might even have more people on our team actually presenting trades and multiple trades and doing more follow-up and all that stuff, then obviously that would be more value and more trade possibilities, different time frames, even different asset classes. That would be of value. So going forward, obviously it would cost more if we incorporated that, but right now we're not, so it's at a cheap value. So if you're able to get it and enter right now, that price will get locked in forever, so you will never have to pay. Like, people are still paying at $40 a month because they've started at $40 a month and now it's $60. So then if you're able to get locked in at $60, then you'll be able to never have to pay more than $60 a month, or whatever discounted price that you get it for. So sometimes we have discounted price where you're paying like $40 a month, or even like $35. We had it at one point for New Year's, which is a pretty significant discounted price. So definitely look out for those if you are interested. So I'm out of water. I'm gonna get some more water here. 24-hour stream. I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll see. We're just navigating the markets, right? We're not gonna try to force anything. We have patience, we have confidence, we have conviction, and we have indications in the market still that we could still see the market bring our idea into fruition by seeing the price create these lower lows all the way down here. So not going to try to force the market or anything. We're going to have a lot of patience. We're going to give it space. We're going to give it time. And we just got to sit on the sidelines and wait and let it do its thing. I've learned so much from Premium Defo worth it. Premium Defo worth the cash. Thank you very much, O.E. Shim. He said, I've learned so much from the Premium Defo, so definitely worth the cash. So we really appreciate that. Means a lot. We do take quite a bit of time out of our day to keep everyone updated, keep everyone give everyone potential trades and opportunities, and look for key areas of supply and demand where buyers or sellers could potentially be located, giving you good opportunities to enter and exit the market. But yeah, we all definitely do this to educate and to help. And when the bull run comes, it will be pretty unbelievable. We'll just be longing. We'll, move our stop loss up way above to take profit. So then we'll be able to take profit off the table, still have profit within that trade, but then use the profit from our initial trade to then go trade in the markets again. So then you're able to basically always have a risk of 2% or less on your total capital or total portfolio, but you're able to take multiple trades. So BTC seeing some sell pressure coming into the market. We see a little bit to the top left. Definitely good for our trade. A lot of the alts seeing a bit more of a dump as well. So yeah, patience is very important. So I'm gonna get a little bit more water here. I'll be right back. So I think we're gonna start slowly moving our stop loss to an actual level where we're gonna be taking profit, but that will be a little bit later on. right, let's see where we are here. Close to the low. Got no questions in the chats. Oh, I'm definitely holding to this. BTC looking, it's holding 6 minutes until the 1 hour closes. And it looks like it is going to close here, but I do think we're going to close this. It's been over almost 3 hours here, and some people are trying to go to bed. And don't want to be talking while that is occurring. Obviously, it's a little bit noisy. Me yelling at a mic here. So thank you very much for tuning in, everyone who has. For the people that are in the Performante Premium member list within the Discord, I will be posting what I'm doing within this chart. I'll probably be staying up until this trade closes, so I will keep everyone updated. So until next time, have a good one. Basically, I am looking for the price to break into a low right here. If we are holding this zone, I might move my stop loss a little bit lower, but at the end of the day, I am wanting to get the risk reward of, like I said, above 2 at a minimum, and then ideally looking for the above 3, maybe even the 3.5, or even ranging to the 4. So we'll see how the price reacts to the zone. Right now, we're kind of at a support right now. So we need to see if the price is going to bounce here to kind of form a double bottom, because if we do, then obviously we will need, well, we have a stop loss at break even. So no matter what, like for everyone in this trade, we should have stop losses at break even. So we have guaranteed no risk on the table. That's, in my opinion, how it should be right now. We got a new 5-minute candle to open here. So momentum's still bearish. I'm definitely looking still to get some possible push to the downside, but we are seeing a decent amount of hesitation from the sellers to really drive the price down to the range that we're looking for. So if we see a push significantly, then we'll definitely look to take profit, but at this point in time, we are going to just be patient. So I'm just getting a question from a student here. They are watching my live stream, entered into the short, but don't know if they did it correctly. Okay, so you have a debt of a certain amount, and you bought Ethereum. You didn't sell it. You can see it. You got a buy in the trade history. You have a buy, so you actually purchased Ethereum. It looks like I don't really here. I'll yeah, not really going to talk about that too much on the live here. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. We will end it there. But let's hope that the price all the way goes down to at least here. But at the current zone, the level of support, we do see that it's around at 2%. So, you know, if we get 3 injections of buy pressure and we're not seeing the price push below the zone, we might look to take a little bit, because we've seen in the past there is levels of buy pressure we've seen right here. So I'm going to close it off, or what I might do is just turn off the YouTube live. I don't exactly know how I can turn off the sound. I'm going to try to do that. Settings. Just seeing if I can mute the sound here. I don't know if I can. Should be in the settings. I feel like that would be a good place for it. Filter comments, mute list. Oh. Okay, we can see that right there. We don't need that. Okay, I'm just gonna close it then because I don't exactly know what how to do that. So I will let the Performante Premium members know, and until next time, have a good one.